What is the matrix of bass? The matrix of bass is an undeniable mathematical pattern that, when paired with emotions, makes it possible to play music intelligently and with feeling. Essentially, the matrix of bass is control. It's control over music. In the matrix of bass, music is translated to numbers, and these numbers have emotions. Unlike your significant others, these emotions are predictable. By understanding the overall parameters of music, you will know the boundaries and then have the tools necessary to push the limits of those boundaries. As the title implies, it is theoretically possible to play the bass guitar without notes. For beginners, the matrix of bass should be logical, intuitive, and easy to understand. For more seasoned players, suspend your disbelief and get ready to see music in a very different way. There is an old saying that goes, you must know the rules before you can break them. In music, that is so very true. If you try to recreate the rules and avoid certain parameters, you will be wrong, and everybody listening will know. When I mention the mathematical brilliance of the matrix of bass, please understand that it is very simple mathematical brilliance, and in no way does it limit your creativity. In fact, it takes away all of its limits. The greatest benefit of the matrix of bass is that, in addition to being very easy to learn, is that its logic applies perfectly in all keys A through G. Just think of all the notes you won't have to learn. In the matrix of bass, I use the term step and note or note and step interchangeably. In both cases, it simply means the note that you are playing. Because I said you could learn to play the bass guitar without notes, the term step is for the purists. Right about now, you may be questioning the validity of the matrix of bass and wondering about its origins, since I am telling you you can play a music instrument without notes. As a matter of fact, the matrix of bass was born in a closet. And please let me tell you the story. I was a bartender. One night there was a band. The bass player, unlike anything I had ever seen before, he came to the bar for a glass of water at set break, and I informed him in no uncertain terms that he had to give me lessons. He agreed. I took about 20 lessons from him, and I wish I had taken about 2,000 more. His name is Lucas Pickford, and he is the most remarkable bass player I've ever met. So we would meet over at his place, and we would cram into a room that literally was the size of a closet, and he began to school me in music theory. He showed me intervals and inversions and modes and all kinds of things, and I practiced everything, but I couldn't get an overall grasp of how music came together, and it was infuriating. And so I would ask Lucas questions, and he would often say, "It's all the same." And I would say, "Okay, how about this?" And he would say, "Dude, it's all the same." And I would look at him and say, "Well, dude, what's it? And what's it the same as?" And it was this vicious circle, and I just couldn't figure it out. Somewhere near my 20th lesson, I took a flight out to California, and while I was on the plane, I, for the first time, practiced my intervals on a piece of paper and without my bass. Within no time at all, I found a definitive mathematical pattern. And then soon after, I found an enormous mathematical pattern. And then when I compared that to one other thing, suddenly, well, it all made sense. I knew what it was and what it was the same as. When we got back to the area, I charted out the matrix of bass. I brought it to Lucas and said, "Dude, is this what you mean it's all the same?" He looked at it and said, while that was the most ridiculous thing he had ever seen, that yes, in fact, that is what he meant by it's all the same. And then right after that, he moved out to California, and I don't know, there's something about Cali. So for the next decade or so, I spent my time practicing and perfecting the matrix of bass, and now I bring it to you, and I hope it serves you well. If the matrix of bass was a corporation, we would be required to have a mission statement. So here is the mission statement of the matrix of bass. The mission of the matrix of bass is to turn the typically tedious and torturous process of learning music fundamentals into a simplistic and logical way to master playing the bass guitar in the 21st century. As you begin your corporation-less journey into the matrix of bass, please remember that this is my interpretation of music. Please consult with your local certified, trained, and bonded musician to ensure its validity. Knowing what I know now, I can assure you that this is great stuff and it really works. I mentioned that Lucas was a jazz musician, and occasionally he would whimsically lecture, and he spoke of ragas and other ethnic music. I'm not positive that the matrix of bass works in all forms of music, but that being said, I can assure you that in all of my experiences, the matrix of bass has always been not only present, but truly prevalent. For those of you looking to prove me wrong, you're right, I lied. The title of this program is a big stinking lie. No, the matrix of bass is not a lie, but implying that you should play your bass guitar without knowing your notes, well, that's ridiculous. So if you don't already have a reasonably strong mastery of your fretboard and where the notes are, please turn off this program and go learn your notes. Yes, you can learn the matrix of bass without notes, but let's keep it real. In Mother Nature, there is gravity. In the matrix of bass, there is an undeniable law. Everything is relative to where you start and its relativity to one thing. Going forward, please take your time, digest, and question every theory. If something doesn't resonate with you, rephrase it until it does ring true. Remember, it is all the same. It's mathematically perfect, and it may be the coolest thing you ever learn.